Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful legal tool, one that's designed to do something that can seem almost impossible: rescue a company that's right on the edge of collapse. In Turkish law, it's called concordato, and believe me, it's a genuine lifeline when it feels like all hope is lost.
So picture this. Think about a local business, maybe one in your town that's been around for generations. Now imagine it's getting hit by a perfect storm. The cash has run dry and the debts are just piling up. It really looks like it's the end of the line. But what if it wasn't? What if there was another option that wasn't just game over?
For a business at this exact crisis point, under Turkish law, it's standing at a fork in the road. Path number one is iflas, which is bankruptcy. That's the end of the road. Path number two is concordato, a structured, real second chance at survival. And to understand why a company would fight so hard for that second chance, you've got to first understand the disaster they're trying to escape.
To really appreciate the lifeline, we first have to understand the shipwreck. So let's take a closer look at what happens in a standard, everyday bankruptcy.
Iflas, or bankruptcy. Look, this isn't just some financial speed bump. It's a formal, legal declaration by a court saying, that's it, you're insolvent. And the result is final. The business is taken apart piece by piece, its assets are sold off to pay anyone it owes, and the company itself, it just stops existing.
So, if bankruptcy is the absolute end, what's the alternative? This is exactly where the concordato lifeline comes into play.
You know, the clue is right there in the name. Concordato comes from the Latin word for agreement or accord. So right away, this tells you it's not about liquidation. It's about negotiation. It's a legal framework that actually gets the struggling business and its creditors to sit down at the same table and hammer out a real deal, all under the watchful eye of a court.
And the mission here is so much bigger than just saving a single company. First, it's about keeping the lights on and the doors open, which saves jobs. It's also about giving the people who are owed money, the creditors, a much better shot at getting paid. A structured plan is almost always better than getting pennies on the dollar from a liquidation sale. And big picture, by stopping one company from going under, you help keep the whole economic boat from rocking.
Now get this, because this is a really fascinating twist. You'd probably think it's only the struggling business owner who would ask for this lifeline. But the creditors, the people who are owed the money, they can start the process too. Why? Because if they think a living, breathing company is more likely to pay them back than a dead one, they can ask the court to step in. It's a tool for pretty much everyone with skin in the game. Okay, so how does this rescue mission actually play out? What are the real steps a company takes to get from crisis to recovery?
The whole journey really happens in 3 key stages. It all starts with the freeze. The second a court gives the green light, it grants a temporary respite. This acts like a shield, totally stopping all lawsuits and debt collection. It gives the company critical breathing room. Next up is the plan. The court appoints an independent commissioner who works with the business to build a realistic, viable comeback strategy. And finally, you have the verdict. That plan is put in front of the creditors, and they vote. If they approve it, the court makes it official, and it becomes legally binding on everybody.
Now, this protection isn't a blank check. It's not infinite. It follows a pretty strict timeline. It kicks off with an initial temporary respite, or geçici mühlet, for 3 months. That can be extended up to 5. If the plan looks solid, the court can then grant a definitive respite, the kesin mühlet, for a whole year. And yeah, in really complex cases, that might get extended again, but there's a clear finish line, usually around the 18-month mark.
And the whole time, watching over this entire process, is the court-appointed commissioner. Now, they don't run the company, but they are its supervisor, its impartial referee. Their one job is to make sure everything is fair, the creditors' interests are protected, and that the comeback plan is actually on track. So, we've laid out the 2 paths. Now let's put them right next to each other. Rescue versus liquidation. This is really the heart of the matter. And when you see it laid out like this, the difference is just night and day. With concordato, the main goal is survival. The original owner stays in charge, most of the jobs are saved, and the creditors get a negotiated, structured repayment. With iflas, the goal is total liquidation. A new administrator comes in, the jobs are gone, and the creditors are left to fight over whatever scraps are left. It's just 2 completely different worlds. So, here's the bottom line, the crucial point to remember. One path is about continuation. The business keeps going. The other is about termination. The business is erased. Concordato is all about creating a win-win, a situation where everyone can come out ahead. Bankruptcy, that's a zero-sum game. It's a final, destructive end.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds fantastic for the business, but it is absolutely critical to understand that this is not some get-out-of-jail-free card. The Concordato Lifeline comes with some very, very strict rules.
Right, so a skeptical person might ask, isn't this just an easy way for a dishonest owner to dodge their debts? Well, the entire system is built on one core principle, and it's designed to prevent exactly that from happening.
And that principle is the honesty rule, or Durchsuchscharte. And it is the absolute bedrock of the whole system. This lifeline is only, and I mean only, for honest debtors. Any sign of bad faith, like hiding assets, cooking the books, making up fake debts, anything to harm creditors, and the request is immediately rejected. Integrity isn't just a nice-to-have here, it is the price of admission.
And just being honest isn't enough. You have to come prepared. You have to prove you deserve this shot. That means presenting a super detailed, realistic recovery plan. It means getting an independent audit that confirms your plan actually has a reasonable chance of working. And you have to show, with cold hard numbers, that your creditors will get more money back this way than if the company just went bankrupt. This is a system built on proof, not just promises.
So, in the end, that quote on the screen really says it all. Concordato isn't a pardon for debt. It's not forgiveness. It's a tough, demanding, but structured path to a real comeback for an honest business that's hit hard times. It's a system built on the idea that sometimes the most valuable thing you can do isn't to tear something down, but to rebuild it. And it really leaves you with a final thought. What if the best way to handle failure isn't to punish it, but to invest in a second chance?